Hello everybody, this is Dot, anti-natalist, and these are some of the most billowy clouds that I have ever seen. They're absolutely beautiful. This is a flight to Chicago, which goes to Texas after this. But, I was just thinking of a really short video, and, what you give in life is often not what you get. And I don't know if I have a formula for what I think happens in life, but I really think opposites are attractive. There's just some kind of force, and like what your pattern of behavior is in life, that you just receive the opposite. And but what I've noticed is that nobody likes to be a victim. Nobody likes people who are unaccountable. But the world is extremely unaccountable. Very, very, very. My limo driver to the airport was very, very unprofessional. He lost his GPS. GPS navigation. He said it was cutting off, but I don't believe it. He missed two intersections and two changes, so he was greatly delayed, and miles and miles out of the way. And then he did a circle and ended up back on the street that we took off from, and then he had a wreck. And so this was just a horrible situation. I contacted the owner of the company, and the owner said, well, this is the best I could do. I got you a ride, and furthermore, I actually missed my flight. The guy made so many blunders and mistakes, and he was so incompetent. It was just truly incredible. And there's also another unaccountable person, and I deal with this person locally, and I've been extremely generous to him. Loans, gifts, really good gifts. And there's never been generosity, to me, in the same, in the same realm. And so recently I had to confront this person and bring up the fact that he owes me something, and he just clams up. He literally does not take any accountability. He doesn't even answer a text. And I see this pattern a lot. I see it constantly, the lack of accountability. And I am one of the most honest and accountable people ever. And if I were to hit a car that it's parked, I leave my number. I find who owns the parked car, and I've done that in my life. And if I was late, if I late, or if I made wrong turns, I would be so apologetic. But what I've noticed is that people are not apologetic, and it's getting worse. People are not, saying they're sorry. They don't have that inner guilt complex. They don't have that inner, moral compass. Regarding the limo driver, I called the owner, and I documented everything that was going on, including the wreck. And he just said, well, you'll make it to the airport. Well, I didn't make it on time. So those are very bad consequences for me. And the wreck was very, they only had a seat belt, the lap belt. They did not have the shoulder belt. So everything that I had on the seat came flying forward. My whole body just went forward because there was no shoulder strap. So things are deteriorating, and I don't seem to find the level of people that I need for my service. And the limo ride was twice, a little bit more than twice, the cost of an Uber drive to the airport. And the guy showed up just a very casual wear. He, looked a little bit unkept. Didn't shave in a couple of days. Baseball cap. He didn't even have front teeth. So why is somebody who's paying for a VIP service treated with such disrespect? And when I confronted the man about the way he looked and the way he presented himself and his rudeness, he goes, well, why should that matter? Or he goes, why should it matter what I dress like? Well, you know what? It's a sign of professionalism and lack thereof. And the fact that he missed turns, the fact that he had a wreck, he just flunked. He flunked. He should have been a janitor and not, a limo driver with a commercial license, driving high-end clients who are overpaying for service because they want a lead service. And I'm finding that the people in any industry are so very coarse, and they're not polite, and they're not up to par. And I don't know what's happened to the workforce. It's just deteriorated completely. But accountability is lacking in all industries, whether you're an architect or whether you're just a passenger and a driver on the road, and you inflict harm on somebody. Everybody is pointing the finger back at the victim, which is very, very wrong. Accountability is lacking. I wrote multiple texts to the owner of Exceptional Limo, and I told him right from the start that things were going badly. And then when I realized he was missing his turns, I knew that I was in jeopardy of losing my flight, my very important flight. And so I had a lot to lose, and he didn't. So, they didn't charge me for the ride, but that doesn't cover anything for my losses. I know that I've been in a car and somebody, backed out into a car and just drove away. I didn't even get out of the car to look and see if he damaged the car. And I am just paranoid about, not being responsible, and but other people that I interact with do not have that level of moral compass, and so I just think that there's a formula, there's a connection to people who are not your tribe, and this has followed me since I was quite younger, but especially where I'm living now. I do not touch elbows with people who I feel deserve to be in my circle. And, the amount that I pay for professionalism services and even goods is just not up to par. And very, very hurtful to me. But anyway, accountability is lacking, and if you want people to treat you fairly, you have to treat others fairly. You cannot be an unaccountable person and then turn around and complain when somebody treats you wrongly. I know a guy that, he had some incidents with neighbors, and then his car got hit a hit and run. Then he had to go to court over the issue, but yet he is very unaccountable in his own interactions. And I don't know how people can live with themselves. You have to be honorable in your dealings with other people, because strangers, strangers who are impacted or victims. Nobody wants to be a victim. So that's all I have to say today. Thank you for watching.